Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for June 19th, 2014. It is a Thursday, and we are so close to the end of the week. And once again, it looks like we're going to end the week with very pleasant weather. But first, we have to deal with a few showers and thunderstorms for this afternoon. Earlier this morning, we had some rather impressive thunderstorms move through the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area with very heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, even some wind damage, especially over portions of central and southern New Jersey early this morning. And of course, that rainfall is also moving through Connecticut right now. New York City basically missed out a bit. Basically, these showers and thunderstorms, as they were diving south, split into two areas, one over Connecticut and the other one over central and southern New Jersey. And the New York City metro missed out a bit on that heavy rain. They got a little bit of rain, but not much. So now we have that cold front slowly slipping south through the region, and we have winds from the north around 5 to 15 miles per hour throughout the area. Temperatures today are going to warm up into the mid to upper 70s over the northern interior, basically to the north of the cold front, and to the south and along the cold front into the upper 70s to lower 80s, possibly a few mid 80s in the Philadelphia metro and extreme southwest of New Jersey as that cold front drops south. Now, the good news. The humidity is going to be falling off. Now, this afternoon, still a little bit muggy, but nothing like what we saw yesterday. And by tomorrow, it's going to feel amazing out, with temperatures around 80 and humidity way down. So let's take a look at the surface map. Basically, what we have here is a very slow-moving cold front, slowly dropping through the region with waves of low pressure along it. This high-pressure system is going to drive south and west, south and east, should I say, and drive this cold front through the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area today. And as a result, we'll deal with a few showers and thunderstorms, but this hot and humid weather pattern is going to be forced to the south, down towards Washington, D.C., and the southeast and the southern plains, where they could keep it. We, though, end up in a much cooler regime under the influence of a backdoor cold front and, of course, our friendly marine air mass over the Gulf of Maine and the Canadian Maritimes. So this high pressure system is going to be a major player not just for tomorrow, but for the next several days into early next week, as it basically locks in right around Maine and portions of the Canadian Maritimes, driving a north to northeasterly wind down the coast. On the radar, you can see the next wave of showers and thunderstorms. Here's the first batch. Some of those strong severe thunderstorms out here over that moved through southern and central New Jersey, already well out in the Atlantic. And here's that batch that's moving over Connecticut. You can see that split that occurred over the New York City metropolitan area. Here's our next batch. Now this is with an area of low pressure. There will be some embedded thunderstorms, but I don't think they'll be as severe as what we saw last night. Some of the energy in the atmosphere has been taken out because of the first wave of showers and thunderstorms. As this cold front drops south, the bulk of this rainfall, I think, will focus southeastern Pennsylvania, central and southern New Jersey, and the New York City metro will be on the edge of the showers and thunderstorms. In fact, you can see a very defined edge right here. So what we'll see here is that Connecticut will miss out in the second batch, and so will the Hudson River Valley. Northeastern Pennsylvania will get clipped by it, and so will northern New Jersey and the New York City metro. But central and southern New Jersey and the Philadelphia metro, it's going to be a rather wet afternoon and evening rush hour as these showers and thunderstorms drop south. By the evening, let's say about 7 p.m., everyone will start to dry out as that dry air works from north to south throughout the Philadelphia metro. On the infrared satellite picture, you can kind of see where that dry air is kind of setting up. You see those clearing skies pushing south rather aggressively as that high pressure system builds south. Don't worry about any of these showers and thunderstorms. They won't reach us at all. This cold front will drop south, and with it, all this instability and thunderstorms and unsettled weather will go with it. So by this evening, by the time you're getting ready to sit down at home, or maybe you're still stuck in traffic, depending on where you're at, fortunately, the bridges and the tunnels around New York City have not exactly been very kind to travelers of late. So basically, by then, we'll see this cold front drop south, and this clearing that's over portions of New England and northern and central New York will reach our locations, leading to a much more comfortable afternoon, evening, than what we've been experiencing over the past 66 hours. On the water vapor I want to show this aspect right here. You see this trough here that's starting to redevelop? That's our northwestern Atlantic trough that will lock right in. It'll produce an environment that will basically keep high pressure locked in over Maine, and as a result, all this unsettled, sticky, hot, humid weather will remain and be forced to the south of the Philadelphia, New York City metropolitan area. So you end up with a trough in the west, a ridge over the plains in southeast, and then a trough basically cutting through the eastern Great Lakes, New England, and the northern mid-Atlantic, and then out towards the northwestern Atlantic. So that means all the heat and humidity is focused, let's say, from Virginia through the Tennessee River Valley, through the Mississippi River Valley, and over the plains, and stays locked in that area, while the west and the northeast and northern mid-Atlantic remains unsettled. So let's take a look at the latest model guidance using the European model guidance from the Penn State UL website. Again, for this evening, that trough over the northwestern Atlantic really establishes itself, drives that cold front south, forces the high pressure system to start to build towards the Canadian Maritimes. That, of course, means that we start to dry out. By tonight, we'll have temperatures falling off into the upper 50s to lower 60s. For tomorrow, high pressure takes control, clearing skies throughout the region. Temperatures will warm into the mid to upper 70s along Long Island, upper 70s to lower 80s in the New York City metropolitan area, and lower to mid 80s in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. But the humidity will be much lower, so it will feel a bit cooler than what we've been experiencing because we don't have as much humidity in the air. For Saturday and Sunday, high pressure generally in control from the Canadian Maritimes. Now, there'll be a threat for an isolated shower or two because we're going to have a weak boundary to our south and west, but it's not going to be a washout, and I stress the word isolated. Most locations will remain dry. Temperatures this weekend will be very comfortable, upper 50s to lower 60s for lows, upper 70s to lower 80s for highs. And then for early next week, for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're looking at basically high pressure and control with a few isolated showers possible right along that frontal boundary I was just discussing about. Otherwise, looking for very comfortable temperatures, upper 50s to lower 60s for lows, upper 70s to lower 80s for highs. Could be a few mid 80s in the Delaware River Valley if we get enough sunshine. But overall, a very tranquil weather pattern, and that's going to continue on through next weekend. We'll have to watch out for a cold front, possibly on late Saturday night next weekend. But other than that, very tranquil weather pattern is going to be taking hold with more of an influence from the Canadian Maritimes, which means we don't have to worry about temperatures in the 90s, at least for the next 10 days, which is a very nice aspect of this forecast that I personally very much enjoy. Well, that's your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.